Henrietta Lacks was born in 1920 in Roanoke, Virginia. Her mother died when she gave birth to Henrietta's 10th sibling. Therefore, Henrietta's dad had to give her and her siblings away to relatives because he couldn't take care of them. Henrietta was given to her grandfather, who also took care of her cousin David. She later ended up marrying her cousin David and had 5 kids.
For over a year, she told her friends that she felt like something was wrong inside of her, like she had a knot. She went to the hospital and the doctors found out that she had a tumor in her cervix. While the doctors were treating her, they cut healthy and unhealthy pieces from her body to look closer into them.
Cells normally die within a couple days or even hours, but some of Henrietta's cells continue to live and reproduce. Dr. George Guy was interested in her immortal cells and decided to give them to international scientists in hopes of a cure for cancer. He did this without telling Henrietta or her family.
At the age of 31, Henrietta died because of the growth of her cancers and tumor. Even after her death, her cells were still reproducing and being sent all over the world for experiments. Scientists and doctors could test her cells on harsh obstacles, things they couldn't do on real people.
During the Cold War, Henrietta's immortal cells were used by scientists who were trying to figure out how to conquer death. People thought that they could use these cells against opponents and take over the war.
When Henrietta was about 9 years old, the Great Depression started. This is when the American stock market crashed, causing a lot of people to be in debt, and many families were left homeless. This was a huge economic turndown for the United States.
Just a year later, the Dust Bowl started. The Dust Bowl was a time where howling dust storms filled with debris and dirt disrupted farms and livestock. This took place in the Midwest, so the Locks family wasn't directly affected.
When Henrietta was 19, World War II started. World War II affected Americans' economic rates, which disadvantaged many families throughout the entire event.
Henrietta Lacks and her cells also impacted the United States history. During the time of Henrietta's death, polio disease was the most devastating virus disease. The HeLa cells helped make the polio vaccine available to people with polio faster. Other diseases were tested on her cells and helped make cures for those diseases.
But the question still remains on whether or not we have rights over our cells after we pass away. This question can be very difficult because both sides of the argument have not yet come to an agreement of what is right and what is wrong.